Good morning, sixth grade. It's Mr. McCaffrey. I'm here with another Fast Forward Friday lesson, and this one it connects directly with our Tuesday lesson where we talked about what your emotions are telling you. You know, when you're feeling that emotion, what's going on and what and how you're feeling. Okay, so we're gonna build on that based on events that have happened in the past few days in America. All right, there are pretty big events going on with the whole president situation. But during the inauguration, there was a poem read by I guess, a poet named Amanda Gorman. She's so much more than a poet, but that's how I'll describe her. And we're going to give you more information soon. But we're going to go over this lesson. And at the end of the lesson, students, listen closely. I'm going to give you information on how you have a chance to win $250 or $100 or $50. All right, so let's pay attention to this lesson because I think any student in our school has the chance to win it. All right, real quick, my background is Martin Luther King Jr.'s memorial in Washington, D.C. And if I go to this side, you can see how big it is based on that person standing there. I think the monument should be twice as big for the impact that he had on America and where we are today. We owe a lot of credit to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So I want to make him my background. I'll probably leave this one up for a few weeks. Next month, February, is Black History Month. I want to make sure all the students are aware. We want to make sure students remember the big three: be here, be ready, be respectful, and those tied directly into the mission of supporting each other and coming together as a community and helping each other move forward. That's the real message, that we want everyone to support each other. It's so important. So, going into the opening discussion, teachers, I know all of you do this a little differently. So, I'll read through it, I'll make a few comments, and you can pause, whenever. So, is it important for students to express their feelings and why? Students and teachers, I think you know my thoughts on this, being a counselor. So I'll let y'all handle that one. What are some ways to express your feelings, thoughts, and emotions? Okay, so the example I put here is if you had a hard week and you relied on some of your friends to motivate you or to support you at the end of that week or the next week when you're feeling okay, do you ever kind of think about telling them or going back and saying, hey, I appreciate you being my friend and supporting me. That was a hard thing I went through last week. I appreciate you. Okay, that's one way to express gratitude or thankfulness. That's a positive way. There are a lot of negative ways to express your emotions. Okay, but we want to make sure we always stay safe. Okay, being alone and crying is okay. It absolutely is okay to cry alone if that's one way you express, maybe sadness or anger. But we always want to make sure we're safe. All right, teacher, you can pause me. But last one, uh, do you want a chance to win $250? That's a rhetorical question. I think every student in here wants that chance. So we will talk about that soon. All right. But a main focus of today will be on the power of poetry. All right, students. Poetry allows the writer to express all range of emotions, from super happy and over the top, just glad and joyous, to extremely sad and lonely. And so, what it does is it allows everybody, no matter what emotional state you're in, you connect with the words. And that's what poetry does. Is you know it's a form of music, I think, in a way, because music, you know, it can inspire just as much, both on the sad side and on the positive side, the hype side, I guess you could say. Music with the instrumentals, it adds a whole nother element. But if you just look at the words, it's a form of poetry. And a lot of your favorite musicians, even rappers and hip hop artists and country music, wherever your interest is, a lot of those artists also are poets, believe it or not. There's some that if you go way back, I think you'd be surprised at some. And teachers, I know they got some examples. But what we're gonna look at specifically here, students, it happened yesterday, I do believe. At the presidential inauguration, there was a poem read by a young lady named Amanda Gorman. And I'd call her a poet, but she's so much more. And students, we're gonna get to know Amanda in the next few slides, and we're gonna listen to her poem. And that's when the $250 contest comes into play, is after we listen to the poem. All right, so we're gonna keep going. So a little bit of information here, students. Okay, this is Amanda Gorman. Okay, she was born in 1998 in Los Angeles. So right now, I think she's 22, 23. All right, back in 2017, when she was just 18 or 19, she was the first recipient of the National Youth Poet Laureate, as a very high honor to receive, which means she's very committed, talented, and is always working on her craft. So it's something that she's very passionate about. And she's also very good, which you'll see soon. So she delivered the poem we're going to listen to. It's called The Hill We Climb. All right. And it was delivered just the other day at the presidential inauguration. So teachers, if you want to take this time to watch the video about Amanda, that gives us more background. But the next slide, I believe, has the actual poem, which, that's the main activity for today. So you can go ahead and watch the first video, and then we're going to get into the poem. You can pause me here. Okay, hopefully everyone watched both those videos. But if you're about to watch the poem, what we want to do is, after you listen to the poem, teachers, please give the students about 5 minutes, maybe more, to stream of consciousness just right. We just want to hear what you saw, what you felt, what did you hear, what was interesting, any certain words that caught your ear, anything you thought, whatever was going through your head during that poem. We want you to start writing it down. We want to get those emotions out. Express yourself right here on paper. Okay, so here is the contest. Now you have your reflection you just wrote. All right, that's a very raw emotions reflection. Now what I think you should do is take that raw reflection of just right after you heard the poem, what you wrote down. And in that reflection, pick what you think is your favorite or most inspirational part, or part that just intrigued you the most. And you're gonna write a poem or reflection based on her poem, but also based on what you just reflected on. Okay, so I think it'd be great, to have some teacher assistance. I would be surprised if, ELA or reading doesn't incorporate this, which, I have not talked to teachers, so I don't want to put anyone on the spot right now. And if, at least we're getting this in front of students here. So students, this is a great opportunity for you to work on your poetry and work on your reflections. And it's such an important topic that we want to present this contest to you. Now, what's important you notice is at the very top, it says all students in Metro Atlanta, 3rd through 12th grade. That's a lot of students. That's thousands of students. So this will be a hard competition to win, okay? However, if anyone's going to do it, I got faith in our Griffin students. I absolutely do. I've seen some of the writing you students have done, 6th grade especially. I've talked to some of the teachers. We have some very talented kids, students. And if you are feeling like, oh, I might not be good enough, you have to try. This is a very judgment-free, no penalty type of contest. Okay, you don't know exactly what they're looking for, so you just do your best, and we're going to submit it. Now, submission here is a little difficult. They give you 2 emails. It's for Dr. Jaha Howard. So for those teachers, he's one of the board members on Cobb County. the school board members. Teachers, you can encourage students to send it, but I want to make sure that they send their final product and they only send one email, okay? Because students, it's going to get bombarded. It's going to be a lot of emails sent to this. And if you send one and then you want to change it and send it again, that's not going to work, okay? You have to send your final product, okay? So take your time. You have until February 1st. So you got about 8-9 days to, edit it and put it together, and then you can email it to one of those emails. And the teachers, you can put that email up wherever you see fit. I'll put it in the email as well. But it's a great opportunity, students. I think it's going to be awesome. So I'm excited. I hope y'all are excited too. Okay, last thing is the closing circle. And you might have had these conversations already based on your teacher and your class. And if you haven't, hopefully it sparked some discussion. But what might the message of the hill we climb be? And why do you think that? And how can you inspire people to do better and support each other? Students, I think this lesson is one of my favorite. I wish I was a teacher at this point just to have the conversations with students. It is a little bit of a letdown that we are virtual, but we're staying safe. So stay safe, stay safe. That is the number one thing so we can get back in school. And students, challenge yourself here, okay? Challenge yourselves. Challenge yourself to come up with a poem or to write a really good reflection, because I can't express enough how important I think this topic is. But I hope everyone has a great Friday. Stay healthy this weekend. Wash your hands, wear your mask, and hopefully we'll see you back in school soon. All right.